Hello there, Capricorn, and welcome to Soul Guidance with Adriana. I'm Adriana, and I'm so glad that you're with me today for your intuitive reading. We have got the deer animal starting your reading, Power. I really love this card. So much quiet power in a deer. They're so shy and very, I just said quiet and very quiet. But there is a power in them. They are seen as the king of the forest, the elk are, at least in the deer family. So we're looking at asserting your power, but in a quiet way. You know, being that person who stands there very confident and sure of themselves, but unengaged perhaps from the tumult around them, because you already have, you don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to prove your power. Okay, let's hang on to that thought. We're starting the week with the Empress, lovely, abundant energy. Going into Hierophant is what helps you go forward. This is beneficial energy. Funny. I love it when my cards respond to where we started. The rivalry, the Five of Wands is what holds us back. So again, let's start there. You don't need to engage in power struggles. You don't need to engage in petty arguments or disagreements or, you know, I'll show you mine if you show me yours because someone wants to see if yours is bigger. You don't need to do any of that. You already know what your power is. You know the limits, you know the extent, the expansion. You know what your position is. You know all of that stuff. You don't need to engage in these squabbles, because those squabbles are being undertaken by people that are insecure, not sure where they stand, and they want to measure themselves up against you. Now, the problem with that is that it doesn't make any sense, because we can't measure ourselves based on where other people are. I mean, we can measure accomplishments maybe, but when we're talking about like measuring soul or measuring personal growth or measuring a personality, it only makes sense to refer back to the self. To contain the power, self-contain the power. Doesn't make sense to, well, you know, I'm kinder than you, or I'm sweeter than you, or I'm stronger than you inside. Makes no sense. All that matters is that I'm stronger than I was yesterday. I'm kinder than I was yesterday. None of this matters. So keep that in mind. The Empress energy wants to make space for all. And it's a very loving, inclusive, embracing kind of energy. And I love that starting the reading for you, because it shows an openness, a willingness to receive, and a willingness to engage positively, emotionally with people. It seems like it's that joy of providing, the joy of providing a nice space, the joy of providing, sharing resources together. It's bringing you that sense of joy. Again, you know, we don't need to seek for credit. We don't need to seek for acknowledgement. You know you're doing it. That's your power, the silent providing. You know you're doing it. Now let's look at the Hierophant. I'm curious about this. This is the energy that is a blessing. I need to just ask where they're going with this card. They're giving me the word truth. Okay, just be connected and aware to what your truth is. And being connected and aware of your truth means that you do not have to prove it, means that you don't have to convince anyone else of it. It's about letting other people have the space to do what they need to do, but it not affecting you. That your truth is just there. You honor it, you live by it, you don't need to force anyone else to do it. And other people then start to look at you as, oh, wait a minute, maybe that way is right. Maybe that's the way they figured it out. Kind of like, you know, if you were to go on let me share this with you. This has happened to some clients of mine. I'll be working with them and their friends will say all of a sudden, what happened to you? You know, we've seen so many changes. What's going on? And the friends start to think, oh, you know, there might be something in the way she's seeing the world now. Maybe I need to shift that as well. It's leading by example rather than leading with willpower or leading with persuasion. The deer is just there in the forest. It's just there. And I love that about deer. You know, if you're lucky to see one in the wild and you're lucky to see a buck, there's always this magical moment where they just stop and they look at you. And then they usually run away, right? Because they're scared. But they just look at you. It's like this presence is just saying, okay, I'm here, you're here. And it doesn't always react right away. It just looks. And it's quiet, but there's no disputing the fact that it was there and that it had an impact. Okay, even talking to you about this now, I'm remembering the times when I've seen deer, and it's just, there's a magic that happens because it's a quiet presence that doesn't have to say anything. Okay, and that's you this week, Capricorn. If you can be that quiet presence that just stands there, kind of letting things go, letting everyone else work out what they have to work out, and having integrity with your own truth, that is the path for you and those around you. They will eventually turn your direction without you having to do anything, which is actually kind of nice. I want to get a little bit more. We've got the 8 of Cups and the Sun. So why are we departing? Are we departing into the Sun? Okay, the recognition is coming. But again, the recognition comes from being quiet, from being unassuming, from not drawing attention to yourself. Okay, but at the same time, if your boundaries are being encroached upon or violated, quietly standing up for yourself. Okay, if people are causing chaos in a space where they don't need to be causing chaos, remove them from the space. Okay, if you can't remove them, remove yourself. Be protective of your own boundaries and trust that the light will be seen, that the light of the truth will be seen. If it is universal, which truth is, it will be seen eventually. Okay, I think that's going to do it for us this week, Capricorn. Thank you so, so much for sharing your time and your energy with me. It's so exciting to see you today, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the new year.